Hey. Welcome to a new edition of Vegas Bad Boys of podcasting. It is 2022 and we're here, fellas. We made it through the year. This is starting our fourth year, believe it or not, with the podcast. So how exciting is that? You're looking at our new format here. We got new segments, and it's even going to all be done in a shorter time. So, how exciting is that? We're no longer in our Zoom offices. We're now in our new offices. So, Sin City Steve, Simon Street, it's good to see you all. Matt Michael will be with us hopefully within the coming week. So, we're all good. Let's get started. We have certain segments we're going to have, and we're going to introduce our first segment. And by the way, uh, this portion is being recorded. We are going to be back live pretty soon. So everyone who do enjoy our live cast, it's coming soon. We decided to record this just so we could kind of get a feel of working under this new platform. So don't worry, we will be back. All right. For our segment, we have our first one, and this one is called the four-way stop. The four-way stop is pretty much where each one of us kind of give our highlights of the week. And in most cases, we will have about 2 minutes to do that. But because we're missing Michael's, we're going to have a good 3 minutes to knock out whatever our highlights was this past week. And I'm sure there was quite a few highlights. It's always good when we get to hear from Simon Street. I'm gonna have you go first, sir. Tell me, man, what were your highlights for the week?
Well, definitely one of the biggest highlights for me, obviously, was NXT 2.0 New Year's Evil event that took place this week. Was pretty, momentous occasion, to say the least. Definitely NXT 2.0 going with the plan, pulling the trigger at 120%, both on the show and behind the scenes, to clear out the old and in with the new. And boy, did they not hold any punches for this event. Lots of things happened that night. The one thing that I will say that was really, really good, it was the main event. Braun Breaker versus Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT championship. And oh man, let me tell you what, that was a hell of a match. I was thoroughly entertained from start of the match to the end of the match. First off, let's talk about Braun Breaker with regards to that symbolic entrance of coming in with the chains. And for a minute, I thought he was harnessing the energy of his uncle, Big Papa Puff. Holla, if you hear me, with the sirens and shit in the background, which I know he normally does, but he had the chains on and shit, and he broke the chains. And in the background, it had the NXT, and it broke into NXT with the new colors and shit. And it was really cool. It was symbolic. And then he went down the ramp, and he broke through the old school X. It stood for the old black and gold brand. Very symbolic. And then in the match as well, Tommaso Ciampa, shout out to him, put on a hell of a match. He made him earn every bit of that. And as we all know, if you saw the event, Braun Breaker is the new NXT champion. And I don't think there's anybody left in NXT 2.0 that is of the old guard at all. I don't think we'll see any resemblance of it. They're all the 2.0s. There was other great matches and stuff that took place that was just really just amazing. It was just from start to finish, just a great segment. The other couple matches was the, Roderick Strong versus Carmelo Hayes. That was a good match as well. That right there, we now have the only champion, North American champion. We no longer have the relegated cruiserweight championship of NXT brand. And so, that moving forward again with somebody else, we don't know if Roderick Strong will still be there. But suffice to say, it was an excellent, excellent show. It was great. And you know what? I was once of the opinion in the beginning that I didn't know how I was going to feel about everybody that I love the NXT. I've been watching from the get-go. I never really thought that I would feel this way, but I think it's a little bit poetic that they let everybody go on and have that last little fight to close out the night. And NXT 2.0 is here to stay.
All right, all right, all right. I can dig that. Sin City Steve, what was your highlights of, or highlight, I should say, of the week?
So for me, the thing is, obviously, we used to divide things up, and I always used to talk about nothing but AEW. Go figure. On this new format, I'm going to talk about nothing but AEW this time around too. Anyway, the action got off and running really quickly on Wednesday night Dynamite, as you had the rematch, ladies and gentlemen. You had Bryan Danielson taking on Hangman Adam Page for the AEW World Title. The first match ended in a 60-minute draw. And so they set it up for the first Dynamite on TBS to also have a fail-safe in place in case this one went 60 minutes. They named that there would be 3 judges, and those judges, I was really hoping that they were going to do something, to take it back to, old school WCW or NWA days when they were on, TBS and TNT. But they chose to have the 3 judges be Paul White, Jerry Lynn. I mean, that took the piss out of it right there. But I will say this.
Okay.
I didn't need the judges because this match went to a definitive finish as Hangman Adam Page hits the buckshot lariat. Only one. He only hit 1 buckshot, and he gets the pin on Bryan Danielson. That's exactly how it should be. So that's one thing that really stood out to me from Dynamite. Another thing, obviously, we had Rampage, Adam Cole versus Jake Atlas. Jake Atlas had a great in AEW. Unfortunately, the match ended when Jake Atlas's knee gave out in closing seconds of the match. All in all, the audience was definitely impressed by Jake. The announcers were definitely impressed by Jake. And I think that this was a really good spotlight for him, even though Adam Cole did pick up the win in a very, very solid match in 10 minutes. And yeah, that's pretty much it, except for Battle of the Belts. I got to talk about one thing.
Okay.
Dustin Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara. And this was for the interim TNT championship. Now, Dustin Rhodes is 50 years old. I know that he's right up there. He might be 48, 49, something like that. The man dropped Sammy Guevara with a Canadian destroyer through a fucking table from the ring apron to the outside. So that was the highlight of Saturday without question. So 3 days of AEW instead of just 2.
Yeah.
And it was all pretty damn good.
Awesome. 3 days instead of 2. All right. Can't beat that. Let me give my highlight. And my highlight comes from the Hard to Kill pay-per-view that took place this past Saturday. Man, first off, this show was off the chains. I love everything about it. But man, the match to me that what was all about was for the Ring of Honor World Championship match with Jonathan Gresham and Chris Sabin. Let me tell you, this match was nowhere near being disappointing at all, man. I'm telling you, Jonathan, for the most part, he had the pure championship for a while. Like nobody could just beat him. I mean, everybody he just ran through. And then before the Ring of Honor took this time to restructure itself and they had that championship match, he ended up getting now the Ring of Honor World Championship. But it also showed why he is this champion, because the different type of moves and techniques that he have and how quick he moves, how fast he moves, and what he's able to do is just it was just pretty amazing. And that doesn't take anything away from Chris Sabin, which, by the way, I mean, this match looked like it could have went either way. Now, of course, I'm pulling for Jonathan because I don't want the Ring of Honor title over on Impact. And see, I think they did a great job with that too. You know, they didn't take the opportunity to go, hey, you know, Ring of Honor's in this situation. Let's just take their belt, you know, and put it on our side. I'm glad they didn't roll that way. I was also happy that in that same match, I got a chance to hear commentary from Enric Abani, which was exciting again. It's you know, Ring of Honor is I think just one of those shows, just like Impact, that for whatever reason doesn't get its true recognition, despite the fact that even the EVPs or whatever the title is for the guys at AEW were on these shows. And I would even say that yes, they even help build uh these shows as well. But it's amazing how fans still have not given it the support that it needs. And I'm hoping that that be a change. But definitely my match of the week, the Jonathan Gresham, Chris Sabin, hard to kill, was definitely where it was at. Good stuff, man. That was our 4-way stop. We're going to move right into our new segment. And this one is going to be called Too Sweet for the Week. Boom. Too Sweet for the Week. Simon Street, you're going to go first on this one, but the Too Sweet for the Week, this is pretty much us highlighting the actual maybe the talent that you thought maybe was the person of the week. And all the wrestlers that did their thing, this person stood out to you. And we're going to take a listen here. Simon Street, tell us what yours is.
Well, I'm definitely going to go one up on that one. It wasn't so much one individual, but 3 individuals.
Okay.
You know, there was a peaked sense of excitement when NXT's MSK weeks prior to New Year's Eve had alluded to us that they were going on a bit of a spiritual journey to try and find their way back to the NXT Tag Championships. And so they said that there was a prophet. That prophet ended up, you know, materializing into Matt Riddle. And, you know, a lot of people were excited about that one because Matt Riddle is, you know, obviously an NXT alumnus and, you know, has that bit of a characteristic that could mesh well with MSK. You know, and yeah, at New Year's Evil, they had a 3-way match with Imperium, obviously with the head of them, Walter. And, you know, I kind of just want to take my hats off to those guys in general. First off, Matt Riddle, MSK, they meshed very, very, very well together. I don't know, you know, what the details are as far as how much time they get together to go over matches and whatnot. I'm sure they had some time. But, man, they looked, to me, way more polished than Randy Orton and Matt Riddle does. And they put on a hell of a match. And shouts out to Imperium and Walter for coming in as well and making that match, to me, one of the standout matches in NXT's New Year's Evil. And so that's why, you know, my Too Sweet for the week is Matt Riddle, MSK, a 3-man group that we probably won't ever see again. But boy, was it too sweet to watch. That's all I got to say about that.
All right. No doubt. No doubt. Let me jump over to you, Mr. Sin City Steve, who you give your Too Sweet for the week to.
So this one is really it's somewhat difficult because on the same show, and this is kind of an honorable mention, you got to give props to the Jurassic Express. They've definitely improved and stepped up their game over time. But this week, my Too Sweet for the week goes to the Hangman Adam Page. Obviously, he went 29 minutes with Bryan Danielson and had one hell of a violent and fun to watch. Definitely not fun to participate in match. But yeah, these guys These guys absolutely brought it. And, you know, the work rate was off the charts. The first match, a lot of people didn't like the fact that there wasn't a concrete finish. This match, there definitely was a concrete finish. Both guys had, you know, good amount of juice. There were plenty of crazy spots. Those headbutt spots, though, my God,
Yeah.
Hopefully Brian Danielson doesn't plan on doing too many more headbutt spots and matches.
Yeah.
But my God, dude, that was the first thing that went through my mind was Katsuyori Shibata from New Japan when those headbutt spots came in.
Right.
But yeah, dude, Adam Page definitely solidified himself as deserving of the world championship in AEW. The thing that I found interesting later on in the show, they did reference that Adam Cole is the number one contender to the title. So now, do you feed Adam Cole to Adam Page? If so, then you're just continuing to push Adam Page and build his credibility.
Wow. Yeah. I can see that. I can see where you're going with that. All right. It's kind of funny trying to get used to the buttons here. It's gonna be a lot of playing around till we get to that. All right, so my too sweet for the week. You know, I listen. When you man, we watch a lot of wrestling, and it's sometimes very hard to choose who you want to give that title to. But I was very impressed with on SmackDown the Naomi versus Charlotte Flair match, and I'm giving this one to Naomi. And I got to tell you, listen, I always known that Naomi is really great, but this match was one of the matches that looked to me like Naomi was in the same level as a Charlotte Flair. Not someone who is just, someone they're bringing to the bottom to have a match. Someone like they're doing, like Liv Morgan, you know. Naomi seemed like she's right there with the group. I guess if you call them the four horsewomen, she looked like she could have been the fifth. That's how great to me this particular match was. And man, I gotta tell you, I was really impressed. I knew there was going to be some shenanigans with having Sonya in there, but ultimately what it showed is that Naomi could get down with Charlotte and make a really good, awesome match from that. And I see definitely something there with that. I got to give it to her. That match right there was one that I watched from beginning to end. I was pretty excited to see. I wasn't sure how it was going to come out, but yeah, that would definitely be my too sweet for the week. Naomi in that match with Charlotte. So perfect. Awesome. All right, guys. We are going to move on to our next segment called WTF, or this week's WTF. Now, of course, this could be anything that we've seen on our wrestling channels that just was quite confusing. I'm going to let you go with this one, Simon Street. I know you got a good one. Tell the folks out there what you think.
Well, real quick, before I go into my WTF,
yes,
originally it was going to be Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose retains the NXT Women's title. I'm like, what the fuck? She's still champion. But unfortunately, I got a chance to watch SmackDown on Friday and found something way much better. First and foremost, before I go right into that, shout out to whoever did the writing for SmackDown. That shit was of some almost slight Marvel Universe type shit. SmackDown's about to go off. The Usos just retained, from a street fight that never ended in the street with the New Day. Mm-hmm. And then Roman Reigns is sitting there in his office. He gets up, and then Seth official name, Seth freaking Rollins, because it's the official name, Seth freaking Rollins.
All right.
Comes in, giggling and laughing and shit. And everybody's wondering, like, okay, what the fuck? Because we always wondering who in the hell is going to face Roman at the
Right.
Rumble. Well,
Yeah.
by golly jingles, that's who's going to face Roman Reigns. I'm excited for this, not just because, I am definitely a fan of The Shield, and it's been way too long. We've wanted to see, mostly for me, this new coming of an era of Roman Reigns and this decadence, this tribal chiefism. I could probably add a couple more adjectives to it. And, every king, the worst thing that they fear is anarchy. And that is what Seth Rollins represents. Anarchy at its finest. You don't know what he's going to do. You don't know what suit jacket he's going to wear or what jacket you're going to wear, what the hell he's going to do. And I'm excited. And all I can hope is that WWE does the right thing and sits on this golden egg and let it hatch pure joyness for us to have on the Rumble. That's all I got to say about that.
All right. I feel you there. All right. Your turn, Sin City. What is your this week's what the
Almost squashing AJ Styles.
Oh.
Okay. Now this is it's not for the reason that you probably think. It's not for the reason that you probably think. So here's the thing. Here's the thing is the fact is fans have been wanting to cheer Omos since day one. Okay.
Yeah.
They've been wanting to cheer the big man, and they've wanted to boo AJ Styles. Styles had been talking down to Omos, treating him like crap, quite frankly, to his face, or behind his back, treating him like his big buddy to his face. And then, when the split happens, the exact opposite thing happens that should have happened to begin with. Omos should have been your baby face, breaking away from AJ Styles, but instead they choose to have AJ be the baby face in this feud. What the hell, dude? Seriously, give the fans what they want. So here's the thing is, yes, I could definitely get it if Omos was the baby face and he went in and squashed AJ Styles in 5 minutes, the dastardly heel AJ Styles. But no, Omos is a heel and Styles was your baby face in a show that's full of just stupid baby faces and buried baby faces. What do we do? Oh, let's just have another heel go over somebody really fucking strong. Oh, gotcha. But then again, they wouldn't have been in this situation if they would have booked the thing as fans wanted to begin with.
Ah, got you. Okay. All right. I feel you there. All right. That means it's my turn. WTF. Let me jump over to the Hard to Kill pay-per-view. And don't worry, because it had nothing to do with any of the matches or the performances at all. This actually had to do with the camera crew. Now, Impact's been doing this now for some time, and they are beginning to act like, back when AEW first started. And that was missing important things that are happening in the ring. And they missed quite a few, especially during the women's Ultimate X match. Listen, I guess the camera is called, I'm assuming the camera that they put on the arm, I'm assuming is called a boom or some sort. It's only so much you can do with that because it runs on a remote control. So if you're zooming in, because you got two people at the top, if you know the Ultimate X match, people are climbing onto a rope, holding on, doing all types of things from up high. That more than likely they're going to fall. If they're going to fall, there's got to be a camera to catch that. And several times we missed that during that match. And I'm going, what is going on? Now, great. We do have the when they replay it, so we get to see it there, but it's nothing like watching it the first time. They also did it again back in the Triple Threat Championship match with Moose. He went through a table. They missed that too. So I don't know. That was my WTF. You know, I don't know what was going on. Maybe they were watching it more than live than they were on the camera, but they need to change that going forward. All right. Our last segment of this particular show is called The Lookout. Now, The Lookout is something from either someone or maybe there's a storyline. There's something there that you are excited to see or just interested to see where it goes. For The Lookout, Simon Street, tell us, what are you looking out for?
Well, definitely, much as the same as Sin City Steve, I will be talking about primarily one show, and that is NXT 2.0, and that of one gentleman by the name of Grayson Waller. Really like Grayson Waller and the Waller effect, because he's got something. Mm-hmm. And so much does he have something that I think they're going to put in all stock on building him up as just as equal as Braun Breaker. He's one of the others that they're going to build up to really be a pillar in this new era of NXT 2.0. So much, in fact, that they brought in the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you right now, that back and forth that they were doing with, coming in before, I guess you would say it was announced they were going to have a match for next week. Sure delight. Grayson Waller can handle himself in the ring. He can handle himself on a mic. Mm-hmm. He has everything that you would possibly want and need. And I am on the lookout for him. And you, if you're listening to this, and the two of yous and Michaels in the back who disagree with me, he should be listening for this, because Grayson Waller and the Waller effect is going to be something that you are going to see in NXT 2.0. Very much is what we've seen with. What do you mean, no? God damn it!
No.
Whatever.
I think that's Matt Michaels from
Is that Matt Michaels? Tell him to cough and hold his left testicle. Anyways, besides the fact, getting to what I was saying, Grayson Waller is very much reminds me of the same moves that we're doing with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins and, other people that they had, to where you could see that they have something to be a pillar to go into the era. So, hey, Grayson Waller, the Waller effect, next week, NXT, him versus AJ Styles in the main event. Can't wait to see it.
Okay, let me go to you, Sin City. Who you looking out for? What you looking at for?
Well, Impact, I am going to enter into your show a little bit tonight with this one. Okay. I'm going to talk about something that went down at the Hard to Kill pay-per-view in Impact. Okay. Most notably, Ring of Honor actually invaded Impact Wrestling. So Ring of Honor stars Mike and Maria Bennett, Matt Taven, Vincent, and PCO all showed up at Impact Wrestling's Hard to Kill pay-per-view. And they did that following the Hardcore War match on the pay-per-view, attacking the team of Heath, Rich Swann, Willie Mack, Rhino, and Eddie Edwards. Heath had just won the match after Rhino hit a gore on Carl Anderson. And the commentators actually referred to the whole angle as an invasion. Keep in mind, Ring of Honor is on a hiatus until April. So this is the beginnings of something that I really wished would happen. I didn't know which promotion it would happen in. But when Ring of Honor announced that they were going to be going on a hiatus, I really was just hoping that we would get more than, Jonathan Gresham defending the world championship and Roxy defending the women's championship. Keeping the branding of Ring of Honor alive as well, I think is going to be something very interesting. That faction is a very solid faction. I mean, it ticks all of the boxes that you're looking for whenever you have a multi-person faction. It's awesome. Right. I can't wait to see what happens.
I agree. I was pretty excited when I saw that. I'm like, yes, it's happening. All right. From my
Definitely.
lookout, we've I've talked about this before, and I'm gonna bring this up, but now I get to officially bring it to the lookout. And this happens to be on WWE Raw. The match with Chad Gable and Otis against RK Bro and oh yeah, against RK Bro. And I've been talking about how with Chad Gable and Otis, the um the academy, I think is really a a cool little duo that they have. And personally I believe that they should be expanding that academy. And I think it should be kind of the same way that Gable's sort of turned Otis, that they do that with someone else. Like, it would have been great if and again, I don't know how they would have done it, but, before they got rid of maybe like Keith Lee, could you imagine if Keith maybe slimmed down some and I don't know, maybe they added some, I don't know, maybe they cut his goatee or maybe they added some hair. I don't know. But I'm saying is you completely change the look and you build within that academy. Someone else that you can do. Think of anybody that you can do that's willing to make a complete change and go into building a faction. And it was great to see that they did take that particular win. Um, I'm assuming it probably won't go anywhere from there, but I think there's something there, and I'm hoping maybe with that win over RK Bro, that something will come out of it because hey, they're still with the company, so apparently they see something too. So let's make it work. All right. That is the lookout. And that is pretty much the show, guys. We did it.
Wow. 45 minutes on
Yeah.
the dot.
Yeah, we did it. Well, awesome. Hey, again, guys, we are just trying a new format, trying a new segments, trying new things. And we always welcome to hear your thoughts that you especially if you was a person who listened to any of our other podcasts, and we've had thousands of listens, so we are curious to know what your thoughts are for this particular podcast that we're doing, or video podcast. And we thank you for rocking with us. We are going to have a 3 count as well. It's going to be sort of the same concept, but maybe a little bit more interactive, being that we got 3 good topics there. And everyone sometimes have different opinions in those. So we will have that. Don't forget to listen to that's available for download on Tuesdays through all your available podcasts. So with that, that is our wrestling talk, and we will see you next week. All right. Take care. Peace out.